Hi, this is an intro. I'm doing it at the end because I need to make some things clear. Don't follow along with this video. If you want to watch the whole video and then try it, do that. But I make some mistakes, so don't do them in the steps that I do them. But I hope that you will try making your own sketchbook because it's really fun. Okay, that's the intro. So I have some new sketchbooks. Actually, it goes like that. And I made them. Isn't that the coolest thing? I watched a video. Creator is called Made by Laura, L-O-R-A. I'll put a link in the description. And she did such a good job at describing how to do it. It's so easy. I've always been intimidated because I've tried to watch a couple of videos of people making them and it looks so confusing, and she makes it so easy. So I'm linking her because she's good at teaching. And if you want to do this, I'll go through my steps, but I think she's better at teaching than I am. And I used this really nice cotton paper we got in the Inktober box last year, but it was in a pad, and I don't like to draw and paint on pads. I like books, so I finally used it, and I made these 2 books out of it. So so if you open this up, this is about the size of the page. So I did a square, and then whatever was left over, I made this smaller one. And I got to use this fabric that I've had forever and didn't know what to do with. And I just love the fabric, so I thought I would make another one and show you how I do it. And if you really want to know how to do it, go to Made by Laura. So I have a couple of these. Yeah, these are nice. So the first thing you do is you take out all the paper. So you save this because you're going to want to save this board. You can decide if you want to just fold it in half. You can make a sketchbook that looks like that. This is a pretty decent size. I think it's like 5 by 5. Yeah, 5.5 square. All right, so I decided to use 2 pads of the Arches paper to make this sketchbook. So now I'm tearing the pages out of the second one. Thought I would tell you what I was doing since I kind of stopped in the middle. I'll save this. So I guess you start by folding all the papers in half, unless you want to cut them, which is why I brought this over. No, maybe I'm not going to cut them. All right, forget it. So I'll just fold all these in half. What you doing? You hungry? You want something to eat? Yes, you want some food? Okay. So these are all folded. So now what I have to do, I think now I do the holes in them. So I need a dish towel and something pokey. So you can measure if you want, but you don't have to. I can just approximate. So I'm going to do like the middle, and then you do a little bit from the top, a little bit from the bottom, and then in the middle of those. So there's 5. And then you use your little pokey thing. Oh. And to make them all the same, you just keep using this one. Line them up. So I do have an extra one, so what I might do is put that in the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, there's no middle, so I'll stick it in there. Make sure the holes line up. Now I did signatures of 2 because it's thick paper, If you're using thinner paper, you can make, you know, bigger ones, but you don't want the pages poking out too much from the center. All right, so now what? I'm trying to think of what you do next. Okay, I'm back. It's afternoon now. This is the fabric I think I'm going to use for the sketchbook cover. Similar colors, just different design. I just love these colors. I got all these on Etsy. All right, so to measure for the stitching, I don't know if I can do it all in one piece. This is quilt thread, so I think it's probably, it's pretty strong. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Should have known that. So you're supposed to go across the lengthways, or the whatever, this, the spine. So 1, 2, 12, and then 2 more. 1, 2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle a piece of thread that long, but we'll see. Oh, you know what? Forget it. Because I double it, so I should have done, shoot, I should have done 24, but I know I can't handle one that long, so I'll just do half, and halfway in the middle, I'll tie it off. That really made me nervous. When I did my first one, I was like, oh, I want to do it with one piece of thread, but it's really easy to change the thread. Okay, before I start stitching, I didn't say this in the video. These are currently folded into 2s, so they are in signatures. When I say it, pick up this one, I mean pick up this pair, so pick up the signature to stitch. You're going to stitch your signatures together, not each page, so just to make that clear. Okay, I was editing, and I really did not stay in frame while I was stitching, so I thought I would do a little example on these pages here, just so you could see it a little bit better. So, all right, so you want to do, for the first signature, which is, in this case, 2, no, you go down. So you go down from the top through the first hole. So you go down through the first. You want to leave a little bit of a tail. You want to, from underneath, go up through the second hole. Okay, hold on to the tail so you don't go all the way through. Okay, go down again through the third. Okay, so you're going down through the third hole. Pages straight. You want to come up from the bottom through the fourth. Down through the fifth. Okay, so then from underneath, you want to come up through that fourth hole. So from the original stitch across, you've got a stitch here and a stitch here. So now you're going to make the other 2 stitches by going through the fourth to the third. And from underneath, now you're going to go in the second hole. Come up. And instead of going down into that first hole to make the 4th stitch, you're going to tie them. And you want to tie it so that the knot is as close to that top hole as possible. And you can tie a couple of times. And I'm going to do that a couple times. Okay, so now your first signature is stitched, and you want to stitch the second signature. So you pull up the next one. And I stick my hand in between the 2 pages of the signature I'm dealing with. So you want to go down into that first hole on the second signature, and then come up into the second, take your needle and you go on this first signature, there's that stitch. So you go under that first stitch in the first signature and you pull all the way up. And then you go back under this first stitch and pull all the way like that. And then you go back into the second hole. And then you do the same for the third. So you go up, go under, and then under, and then back through. And the same with the fourth, if I can find it. Under, and then go under again. And then back through. And then you come up for the fifth. And there's no stitch on the right side, so you just want to go under the one on the left. And then if you want, you can go back, go under the stitch itself, and then tie a knot if you want. Okay, so now we're going to add the third signature, but we're going to start from this side. So you go down and then go up into the fourth, but this time and from now on, instead of going under the long stitch, you're going to go under the tiny stitch between the first two signatures. So you just slip between those two. And then go back down the hole. And you do the same with the next one. Sometimes you have to do it at an angle just to get it to... That one, you go back down the stitch, back down the hole, come up with the next one. Now we're on the second. And down again. And then every signature after that is the same. So you repeat those steps on every signature after that until you get to the very end and you tie a knot, and that's it. If you want more detailed video, maybe a little more clear, I would follow the video Made by Laura that I'm going to link in the description. Cut that, and then you're done. And you're ready to put this inside of your cover. It does look pretty loose though. I tried to get it as tight as I could. Oh, see, there's a loose thread right there. Oh well, what are you gonna do? I learn a little more every time I do these. I would just work with shorter thread, and because this is bigger than the ones I've done before, I think maybe that's part of it. Just work with shorter thread because it's easier to keep track of it. Now we have to do covers. This is going to be the front and back covers. I did one of each. This measurement is going to be about 1/8 of an inch extra on each side. The spine piece is going to be separate, so it will give it enough flexibility that it will naturally overhang. So that's what I did here. So I measured this length and added 1/4 of an inch, so 1/8 of an inch on each side, and then this one was exact. And I have 2 of those, so I'm going to cut those out. And one of these, probably this part, will be the spine, but we want the spine to be a little bit thinner paper, so I'm going to probably try to slice a couple layers off it. So, all right, so these are the pieces. Put that up there. So we're gonna do this, this, and this. And this doesn't need to be exact. It's a little bit shorter, but it doesn't really matter because it's gonna be hidden on the, oh yeah, and I wanna cut some off of this because I need it to be a little bit more flexible. Okay, so you're gonna lay this out on the fabric like this. You're gonna leave a little bit of space between the 3 pieces. All right, I'm gonna have everything ready, but I wanna, did you drool on my table? Ew. How come you're drooling? Okay, so I'm gonna lay this out. So I wanna, I don't know how much the camera's gonna pick up, so I want to, I don't know, maybe an inch all around. So give that enough, not too much. All right, and then, all right, so this is what we have. Can center it. Oh, this is called Butterfly Magic. But anyway, just go on Etsy. You'll find it. All right, so, and the corners are thin because I messed up on the corners on the other one. So you want to cut not too close, but not too far away either. So I don't know. I'm leaving that much. That's a little too much, but that's all right. You can fold it in a little bit. All right. Okay, here's where I'm about to make a big mistake. So don't do anything until you watch the whole video or you watch Laura's video, because I forgot to glue down these pieces. So, all right, so we want to do it on the back. Okay. All right, so now we glue. So now you do the top and the bottom and then the sides. And oh yeah, before I do that, I'm supposed to get a little bit in here too, I guess. Yeah, because you want the fabric to kind of stick to itself, I guess. All right, let's try this. So there's that. I just want to turn it over. Make sure there's no wrinkles. There's a little bit of glue on there, but it looks pretty. This is where I should have noticed that the fabric was not attached to the cardboard. So, and I'm gonna let this dry. And I guess I can do the pages. All right, so, okay. So once again, as I'm editing, I find that you can't really see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna do this part on a different book that I'm gonna work on. So you wanna cut a piece of fabric, doesn't matter what kind, so that it will fit across the spine, but not all the way across. So maybe like 1/4 inch on each side cut off. So we'll do like maybe that. And you want it to come down over the sides onto, this is how you're supposed to do it with the with the end papers already glued. I just glued these, so they're very wet still. But, so this is the book, the pages, the signatures stitched together, the end papers, and you want to glue this little piece of fabric across the top, leaving space on each side. And coming down 3/4 of an inch on either side. I'm just gonna clean that up a little. It's a little crooked. Okay. All right, so you want to, I don't know, I guess put glue on this. Now how far across is it? So it's about from here to here, so just gonna, I would get it tight, like grip it a little so the glue goes in but it doesn't go down too far. All right, and then you want to go, like I said, maybe 3/4 of an inch down on the paper. Right. Then put that on there and attach it. And you can put glue on top. And I don't think I did the whole section here. Alright, so that's how you put that paper on. And this thing is going to slide into the cover. And I made a mistake with this. I didn't glue, all this fabric's loose. I didn't glue the cardboard down on top. So I think I'm just going to take it apart and just do it over. Okay, so you got to glue these down. Oh, well. Oh! Oh my God, way too much glue, way too much glue. Where it was, so about like that. Okay. Although this one I might be able to just, oh, maybe I'll just do that. That about like that. All right, and this one is still, no, it's only stuck in that one spot, so. Right. That good? That looks good. Let's do the top. All right, perfect. Put that in like that. And like I said, this side, it doesn't really matter what it looks like because it's going to be covered by the end papers. So we just clean that little area up. All right, now it's done. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, you can peel that a little bit. So they didn't have any scrapbook paper at the dollar store, but they had poster board, which is pretty thin. But I did get, while I was at the dollar store, I found these. I thought I could use those for future sketchbook covers. So I found some little skeletons. They had some Halloween stuff out. So the black cats, candy corn, and I like these little checks, little quilted sort of looking. And then this weird animal one, I just thought it was kind of funny. So those are like $1.25 each. I don't know how big they are, but they look big enough. Would this one work? Yeah, even one as big as that would work. So I figured since I was there and it was cheap and it's cute, so I'd grab some, especially because Halloween. I like Halloween stuff. Alright, so what you want to do is, I think, just glue it down to the first page. So we do this. It's on there. Alright, and then I'm going to do this too. Pull that over that. And then just do the same with the other side. Well. And then you want to do this part. So the cover's going to be there, so that's going to open. That'll be your first page. And then, oops, that's supposed to stick to that. And then that's your first page that you could draw on. So. Okay. This is it. It's finished. It's a little stiff. There's a couple of scratches from that paper, but it's not a big deal. I think it came out pretty well. There's places where you can see that it's loose, although right now you can't. Maybe it was before I glued it out. See, like kind of there, you can see there's some, I think because there was that spot when I was stitching and I didn't notice that it was loose, but other than that, it's mostly pretty good. And I love the size. I think that's a cool size for a sketchbook. So it's done. So I think I'm just going to do a little intro to this video saying, don't do what I did. Watch the whole thing through and watch Made by Laura's because she actually knows how to do it. But I'm just here to show you that you can make mistakes and it still comes out okay. There's the side. Cat hair. I just love that I can make a book. It's the coolest thing. If you decide to do this, watch Made by Laura's because she does a much better job at teaching. And the thing that I wanted to add was next time, when I fold the paper or cut the paper or whatever, at the same time, I didn't have the paper at the time, but at the same time I'm going to do the end papers so that I know it's exactly the, oh, see that's, I just noticed that the paper goes over the edge a little. I may have to trim that down a little because you can see part of the book there and then, no. I think I will cut all the papers at the same time so they'll all be the same size and then I'll know that they'll fit. I won't have to worry about fussing around with it at the end. So I think I'll just trim up some of that and it's done. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.